going for module 2, here in depth knowledge related to your memory mapping, bit band operation and Cortex microcontroller system interface segment we will see with respect to that in module 2. Everything related to memory mapping, overall memory, how we are going to divide it, inside that how we are allotting the register values, how we are allotting the values, all those things we will study in memory mapping. Bit band operation is how we are transmitting the bit by bit transmission of data from memory towards the register or register towards the memory. That operation we will learn in depth in this module only. Okay, and first we'll find out or see memory system features overview with respect to the overview of memory systems. Okay, the Cortex M3 processor has different memory architecture from that of traditional ARM processor. Whatever the traditional ARM processor was having the memory architecture, it is totally different from the Cortex M3 has a totally different memory architecture compared to the traditional one. First is it has a predefined memory map that specifies which bus interface is to be used when a memory location is accessed. Means if I am going with, we have already a predefined map of memory map. Sorry, memory means code memory is restricted for this amount of memory. If you are going for system memory, that much amount of memory is allotted for the system memory. Remaining memory is for peripherals, remaining memory is for data storage. In that way, we have already predefined memory maps. Okay, we have already mapped for the this amount of information for this memory area, this amount of information for that memory area. In that way, we have already discussed and we have predefined it. And also, whenever you are accessing one specified memory area, then it will be having its own bus interface which can be used to access that memory area. If you are going for code memory, then easily you can access through code interface bus. Okay, in that way we will be having the bus interfaces with respect to the memory locations. Okay, this feature also allows the processor designed to optimize the access behavior when different devices are accessed. See, whenever we are going with respect to peripherals, if more number of peripherals are connected with respect to Cortex M3, this processor has a design to optimize the access behavior, means how to access, which peripheral has to get the highest priority, which peripheral has to get the lowest priority. In that way, how to access those peripherals, with respect to that, we will be having the processor can design that type of optimized access with respect to the external devices. Okay, another feature of memory system in Cortex M3 is the bit band support. It provides automatic operation to bit data in memory or peripherals. It provides the automatic operation with respect to the bit, means as I told you with respect to bit changing, means control bit 1, control bit 0 we have discussed with respect to the privilege level and user level. How to change that levels, we can interpret or we can write the data towards that bit as 1, then it will change from peripheral, so peripheral, sorry, privilege level to the user level. In that way, in the same way, we can write or do the operation on bit data, that is using bitband support. Okay, the bitband operations are supported only in the special memory regions. Only in the special memory regions we can do this one. In normal memory like code memory or system memory and all, we can't do this bitband operation. Okay, only for the special regions we are going to do this bitband operations. The Cortex M3 memory system also supports unaligned transfers and exclusive accesses. Means it doesn't mean that you have to transmit only in the block size of 8-bit or 32-bit. No, unaligned size of unaligned transfers also can be done through Cortex M3 memory system, and exclusive access can also be provided. Means if you are in the privilege level, you can access all the memory areas. If you are in the user level, only with respect to the program or data which is allotted with respect to user application, that only can be accessed. That is an exclusive access with respect to the usage. The features are part of the V7M architecture, that is version 7 of R, that is M is microcontroller architecture. Finally, the Cortex M3 supports both little endian and big endian memory configuration. Means if we are going for little endian, the least significant bit is at the last bit of your memory storage. If you are going for big endian memory configuration, the MSB bit of the whole data is at the last bit. Okay, means you are writing in the reverse order, that is big endian memory. Memory maps, we'll go with the memory maps now. The Cortex M3 processor has fixed memory map. As we discussed in the basics of module 1, we have a fixed memory maps with respect to the Cortex M3. It makes it easier to port software from one Cortex M3 product to another. As we have a fixed memory map, Cortex M3, same data, whatever the software we have written or whatever the data we have stored in the Cortex M3, it can be transferred to the another Cortex M3 product, because the fixed memory map means whatever the memory we have stored in the fixed memory mapped Cortex M3 can be simply shifted or can be simply transmitted to the another Cortex M3 with the same fixed memory map, because both will be having the same fixed memory map. If we are transmitting, it will work as it is as the original one. Okay, for example, components described in previous section such as nested vector interrupt controller and memory protection unit have the same memory location in all the Cortex M3 products. As we have discussed, the many special registers and special controllers and protection units, they have the specified memory location. It can't be changed with respect to one Cortex to another Cortex. No, each and every Cortex products have the same one fixed memory maps, and the special registers also have the same memory address. That's why easily you can transmit the data from one Cortex M3 to another Cortex M3. Means copying of the product means multiple production or bulk production of the Cortex M3 will be easy if you are producing one Cortex M3 product perfectly. Okay, nevertheless, memory map definition allows great flexibility so that the manufacturers can differentiate their Cortex M3 based product from others. Okay, memory map also can be have some of the flexibilities. That's why manufacturers can differentiate your Cortex M3 with respect to the based on the product from others. Some of the memory locations are allocated for private peripherals such as debugging components. Whenever you are going for the debugging components, they can be allocated with respect to private peripherals. Okay, they are located in the private peripheral memory. In private peripheral memory region, they will be allocated, and this private peripherals can be connected with respect to debugging components. Here you can see the detailed representation with respect to the memory map. 0.5 GB, that is 500 KB. Yeah, GB, KB. Yeah, 500 kilobytes of data for space for code memory, and 500 kilobyte for SRAM and static RAM, that is, and 500 KB for peripherals, and external RAM 1 GB, external devices 1 GB, and private peripheral bus private peripheral bus for the internal connections, that is for E002 to E003FF. You can check with respect to hexadecimal to decimal conversion, then you will get the value here. You subtract these two and get the value. And private peripheral bus debug and external. For private peripherals, you can connect it with respect to debug connections, debug external components and external peripherals. It will be from E004 0000 to E00FFF. If we are subtracting these two and get the subtraction value, and if you are converting that hexadecimal to the decimal value, then you will get the actual address space here, as in terms of GB and KBs. Okay. Then vendor specific with respect to that E010002 to FFFF with respect to vendor specific. With respect to industry, see, if some person is buying your product, means they also need some of the space to store their own restrictions or some their own rules of representation of your Cortex M3. All those things are needed. That's why vendor specific space is also given. With respect to that, you can connect any external vendor specific devices also. Okay, this is the representation of your memory map in Cortex M3 device. Okay, in this predefined memory map, you can see which all the registers can provide the bitband operation. Okay, and where you will be having the special register, all those things you can see in this specific memory map diagram. Here, as I told you, code memory is from for 500 KB, SRAM 500, peripherals 1 GB, 1 GB private peripheral as a debug and external vendor specific. In this, you can see which all have a bitband region and bitband alias regions and how it will be working. That you can see here in SRAM, that is static RAM. Bitband region is provided for 1 megabits. Okay, sorry, 1 megabyte, and remaining for reserved, and 32 megabyte for bitband alias region. Means whenever you are doing the bitband operation, you need to store the intermediate values or pseudo random values. Means whenever you are doing that bitband operation, the remaining bits has to be stored in some other memory region. For that reason, you need one more area, that is bitband alias region. Okay, and in the same way, in the peripherals also you have bitband region, that is of 1 megabyte, and 31 megabytes of space, and 32 megabits of megabyte of bitband alias region. As I told you, when the bitband operation is running, you need to have some alias region, that is temporary region, which can store the intermediate value.